In theaters this week, Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul.
Yes, everyone's favorite bumper sticker is now a movie. And this opens the door for other sticker-inspired films like Baby on Board.
Ah, yes. I Break for Snakes.
And whatever Calvin is pissing on this week. It's Monday Movie Nonsense!
Chuck Turner, man. That's the best one. Best soundtrack to a blaxploitation film. Oh yeah, that's the best one. Better than Shaft.
A little hint of some of the conversation come. We hinted at the Black movie soundtrack last week, but now we went, so we have a fuller report on the other side of that. It's all part of Monday Movie Nonsense, which you're tuned into here, and it happens every Monday at 3 p.m., 6 Eastern. We put up a link. This is our YouTube page, right? But we're also over on Twitch, where no one watches us, and we're on Facebook, where a handful of people tune in. So check us out on all the platforms. And basically, they don't stop making movies, so we can't stop making this show about movies. And if you want to know more about us, at The Movie Guys, everywhere on social media. So that's Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can go to themovieguys.net, of course. Look up podcasts, articles, reviews, the whole deal. Basically, if you're having trouble finding us, don't be shy. Just check the internet.
What the fuck is the internet?
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together to bitch about movies and share pornography with one another.
And, today, we're not going to bitch about movies. We love movies.
No! All the movies that opened this week, Paul, and all the movies that are opening this week, there's just so much to talk about. I mean, will we be able to even get to the other topics that we had planned for this show? Or will it just be taken up with all the movies coming out, rushing into theaters at the end of August, as is the tradition of Hollywood?
Yes, Adam's right. There's virtually nothing coming out. We have, later in the show I mentioned we'll get to the Black movie soundtrack, plus an outdoor screening of Encanto, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I want to show you that clip from Holly Shorts that I didn't get to last week, what we saw this week, and much more. But yeah, what's coming out this week? Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul. I think I have pictures of these things.
Did you bring a trailer?
Chat.
No, I didn't bring a trailer.
What?
This is Sterling K. Brown and Regina Hall, your Oscars host. In a comedy, of course, it will play theaters, but also Peacock.
Yeah.
And we have Spider-Man No Way Home returning to theaters, such a huge hit that the More Fun Stuff version is now coming out, which I think has 10 more minutes added to it, which I think expands mostly on the cameos, which will be fun. And
will this one finally have a cameo from Henry Cavill? Can we just at least predict that so we can get upset? By the way, the More Fun Stuff version, Paul, are they starting to name movies like when they ran out of precious metals to name DVDs after, right?
Yeah, gold
Is this
box.
the Bueller edition?
You gotta like the meme remake there.
I love that.
That's close.
Oh my God. It's amazing. No, this movie is an absolute miracle. Again, I say this as a kid who I just had a discussion with a friend of mine about this. In 1970 or 1979 or 80, every Saturday night was Wonder Woman and the Incredible Hulk. And every once in a while, they would say, the Incredible Hulk will not be seen tonight for a special presentation. And that would be either Captain America or Spider-Man or Doctor Strange, which I actually never saw, the TV movies. But so, and when you saw Spider-Man live action, my friend, like, holy, I don't care if those movies were definitely not bad then. I was a child. But, oh my God, when you saw Spider-Man for real. So this stuff, man, but in Captain America Civil War, Like a movie I thought I would never see, a Captain America I never thought I'd ever see, and a team up that I never thought I'd... Remember, Paul, when Batman Returns came out and they said, see, you just can't put 3 comic book characters in a movie
Right.
and have it make any sense or have anybody be able to buy into it. 3! Oh, that threw us off.
Marvel does the old hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Yeah. So then the 3 Spider-Man. Oh my gosh, get the hell out of here. It's incredible.
Yeah, they've been waiting for the unobtainium version of Little Mermaid. Yeah, I mean, playing at the same time as me. Also,
yeah, I did.
That people aren't watching us on Twitch. How dare they? It's a party over here. Thanks for going over there just to comment.
Right. He's not the first person to do that after we've said that too. Oh wait, yeah. Well, yeah, Garth Owen.
Usually, yeah. Also, I should point out this. Let's see, where did I find this? We got so many clips in here to play for you guys today. I should.
First of all, we didn't give our traditional greeting here. I'm seeing it in the chat here. Paul, a Kirin Lagabiru to you.
Yes,
Miho, Karasawa-san, Hiro-san. Miho, Karasawa, Hiro-san. どこ行っちゃったんだ、ハリソン。はい、キリンラガー来たよ。パチパチパチ。この味がビール。切れ味、醍醐味、キリンラガービール。
Sorry, Paul, I cut you off.
Oh, and what did I have yesterday?
Kirin Lager Beer.
ですね。
Yes. He texted me that. That was fantastic.
I don't drink, so I actually didn't have it. But a buddy of mine ordered one. I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, wait,
I
what?
forgot I think I was at a Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
So it was really good.
Yeah. No, I assumed you weren't actually drinking it, but I'm like, oh yeah, of course. Somebody must have had one around, which is good. And I'm going to start, I have a beer every once in a while. I keep forgetting to track it down when I go. It's obviously not at the convenience stores around me because I would have noticed it, but I don't live in Koreatown anymore. It was everywhere there.
Yeah. I mean, I've kind of learned about it through these wacky bits of ours.
Mm-hmm.
So. Let's talk about... Oh, and then, of course, I didn't even mention this. This is what people will mostly be talking about this week, and it's not even in the movie theaters, but it'll be The Lord of the Rings, The Rings.
Oh, yeah. It is. It's a movie on TV,
Yeah. Now, I hinted last week that I will actually be seeing the first 2 episodes of this in the theater on Wednesday.
Oh, you will?
On Baldwin Hills. So that is going to help it for me because I'm a lukewarm Lord of the Rings fan, but I think bigger the better. And maybe this is a good time... Let's see, maybe it's a good time to talk about.
I love, I wasn't like super obsessive with the movies, although they really hit a sweet spot. It was really, obviously they were epic. They were the Star Wars we were kind of looking for. This sort of like otherworldly epic thing. Like Star Wars disappointed some people. It didn't feel like Star Wars. Didn't feel like a return to a lot of people. But what they got out of Lord of the Rings, it just made that such a cultural landmark. But then I really dug the Hobbit movies too. I just dig hanging out in that world. So I think I'm going to enjoy these.
Yeah, it's the origin story of Galadriel, which is
that what it is?
Was origin story, whatever. Early adventures. I mean, who knows the hell how old she is? The Kate Blanchett's character from the original.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. And Marvel's Kate Blanchett. Did you see that on the internet?
No.
Oh gosh, yeah. Somebody posted. Well, she's got a new. I know, right? She's got a new movie coming up. I can't remember what it's called at this point. We'll cover it when it gets closer. Tar. That is correct. Right.
A new Todd Field movie, like the third Todd Field movie in 30 years or whatever. The guy doesn't make enough movies, but he made In the Bedroom and Little Children.
Oh, that's okay. I wouldn't even know the director of those 2 movies. That's the same director, huh?
Yep.
And then between that, he just directs video game trailers or something. I don't know. He's got to make some money somewhere else. That's like unprestigious, right?
Doing when they're not doing this, yeah.
He saves up his prestige for a movie every decade. It's like he's got to be doing something else. He's like, yeah, and then mostly aha videos.
Late career aha videos.
Yeah. Oh, now, not the old ones. No.
That real depth. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So anyway, it says.
I missed out on the Rings of Power fan screening because I was at that cinema watching a movie. Yeah. I actually got all the way through to the ticket purchase, and I went, it's not the Cinemark near me, which would be the North Hollywood one, so forget it. Then my buddy called and said, I got a +1. I'm like, all right, I'll make the trip. So, and
that's going to do it so much more
also
justice. Oh, Sleep With Me. Oh, okay. Is he the guy that Quentin Tarantino discusses Top Gun with? We never, in all the Top Gun bits we did, I never pulled that clip of Quentin Tarantino saying, do you know the movie do you know the scene I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I think we played it when.
Did we play it? Okay.
Let
me tell you what Top Gun's about.
I see. Mara's
he's going the
here.
gay way.
I see Mara's here. Should we talk more about Top Gun, Maverick, Mara?
I ate Venture. Would she stay there?
Yeah.
Put that back up.
Oh well. She's chatting back and forth with the gang in the group.
I see.
And yeah, I know she wouldn't be upset if we talked for the full hour on Top Gun Maverick, which I could do. Still talking about that movie with people. Still talking about how great it is. Still just going over and over the how great that Iceman scene.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that E.T. and Top Gun were in the IMAX. I don't know if you know this, Paul, but right just down the street from me is a movie theater. It's called the something Chinese. I don't know. But anyway.
When you think movie premieres, legendary film stars, you think China. So that's why that's there.
Yeah. Oh, no, also, yeah, well, you know that big photo of Star Wars premiere and people lined up around the corner? Yeah, this is the corner they were lined up to.
Right. All right. So,
but I didn't get to see it when it returned.
So I will have a report on that next week. Everyone will have seen at least the first one. I may have seen 2 episodes by then. How exciting. But that leads me to jumping into something I want to talk about last week, and that's how much I'm enjoying this House of the Dragon.
Okay. So is this my chance to jump on to the Game of Thrones thing?
You still haven't. I know for like 5 years we've been talking about, I got to get on that Game of Thrones because everyone says it's great.
It's half-hearted. There's no superheroes in it. Who gives a shit?
Oh, but yet. And yet there are, otherworldly.
Now, is this connected to House of the Dragon Tattoo? Do I need to watch that first?
No, you need to watch, there's a second one they made with Claire Foy as Daenerys Targaryen.
Okay.
Anyway. This is really good. And it took me a second to kind of lapse back into the world of Game of Thrones. What's a hand again? What are the 7? That's like the religious version of a god in that world. And then
the hand. Now, those are the ninjas that fight Daredevil, right?
Yes, exactly. The hand of the king is like his right hand. So
his coterie.
Here comes the hand. And it's Rhys Ifans playing the hand. So you need to see that.
Well, I just love saying the name Rhys Ifans.
Yeah. And I am enjoying this very much. I know there was a bunch of chatter on Twitter debating it back and forth. I ignored all that. And I still do. And who cares? Yeah. This is really good.
It's so easy to ignore. That's why people don't give things on Twitter and discussions like that. The best thing is that it is so easy to ignore it. I don't know how other people don't. I find it immensely easy to ignore the conversations that are going on because man was never to hear everything everybody was talking about.
It's got Morbius's Matt Smith in it. Well, what a shame.
Oh my gosh, it's stuck. Morbius's Matt Smith.
Unfortunately, but yes. Do I need to get my mic in here? Is that better?
Terminator Genesis's Matt Smith, right?
No shit. Oh wow. Well, he's good. It's an ensemble thing. I mean, Paddy Considine, who I love and have loved since Cinderella Man, is your lead actor. He's the King Viserys, I think his name is. It's all about the Targaryens who ran Westeros 172 years before Game of Thrones, and they rule it, with the Iron Throne and dragons.
Okay.
And so the dragons are they're not as magnificent in this. They're kind of everyday. I mean, they're amazing.
Oh,
but it's like
that's awesome.
Riding dragons is like no big thing. Whereas
that's great.
Recapturing dragon riding was a goal in Game of Thrones. Yeah. So far, it's all you would expect from that sort of medieval thing. I shall claim an heir, and then everybody's
I love
pissed,
it. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Men being men, and therefore awful. And the first episode is heartbreaking, and the second one led with the old score, the old theme song. So that was amazing. First of all, you need to get into the show. The old Game of Thrones, as soon as I heard I was like, whoa, I'm in. I was down. And so now they did that again with a whole new credit sequence. Now will accompany every episode of House of the Dragon. It puts you right in the mood. There's something about, and instead of roaming a map of the the universe that is Game of Thrones in the first movie, it just seems to run from like House's logo to House's logo, eventually landing on the Targaryen logo, the House of the Dragon.
Are there new houses in this, or is it all the houses that most, except for me, have come to love from Game of Thrones?
Yeah, there seems to be this really crazy. Let me get rid of this. Seems to be this really crazy guy called the Crab Eater. Now, full disclosure, in the pilot, I thought
the Crab Eater. Now that sounds like a Mad Max character, right?
Yeah, exactly, totally. And it looks like one too when you see him. He's got like kind of half a knight's helmet on, and he's all burned and crazy.
Teams up with the ball crusher and the ball farmer.
Yeah. So those are total George Miller ones. But I thought they said Crap Eater, and I thought either way, Game of Thrones would roll with either of those characters. That they've set up in the pilot, anything goes.
Yeah.
Blood, gore, sex. We don't. Okay. It's all in the thing.
Yeah. All your favorites are back, right? Blood, gore, sex, dragons.
Yeah, and vying for power. So I thought it was great. I'm going to keep watching it. Apparently, it was one of HBO's biggest premieres in a long time. And you know me, I don't want HBO to dip into all F-Boy Island and the Great Pottery Throwdown. I want them to continue to make big, prestigious shows and movies like this. So far, so good on this one. And yes, I need to just share this comment because In America, Patty Considine gave a fantastic. That's actually where I first heard of him. Then he was in Cinderella Man. In America was my favorite film of 2003.
Who made that movie?
Jim Sheridan.
Oh, Sheridan, master storyteller. Yeah,
and he's so good. It's just a simple story about an Irish family moving to New York and just trying to survive. And it's not a period piece. They're just trying to get along in New York, and I just thought it was fantastic. Jaimin Hansu in it as well, which of course makes your movie better.
Always. And what year were they trying to make it in America in that movie? 20s?
That's like current-ish. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
That's the thing. Yeah, that's what was great.
I thought it was one of those like 1920s New York type things. Because I don't know how anybody made it out of 1910s New York. When I see one of those old movies, I'm like, how did any of these people eat? Like whatever. Just how did their kids live? I don't understand. I have trouble enough now in 2022 Los Angeles.
Yeah, there's a it's watch Avalon if you want to see that. But even that.
I thought that was a period piece.
So much. Watch Gangs of New York. There you go. There's your Irish people having trouble moving.
How did anybody make it out of 1885 Manhattan?
Yeah. But so far so good. Yeah, love Patty, love Matt Smith, love the young female actresses who are brand new to me, and of course Reese is fantastic. And who the hell knows who else they're going to pull out? I hear Olivia Cooke is in the cast. Should show up at some point. I love her too.
By the way, Matt Smith, I brought up that Terminator Genesis reference because I don't know if you saw on Twitter, but obviously our good friend Mark Ellis hosts Rotten Tomatoes, many shows on Rotten Tomatoes, usually writes them himself, but the subject was in a subject that I don't know much about, so I'm always interested, especially if PJ Campbell is writing the information on it because he's a huge Doctor Who fan. And so there was a whole segment posted by both of them on Rotten Tomatoes, written by PJ and, announced by, spoken by Mark Ellis. And I learned a lot about Doctor Who and the two recent Doctor Whos. But one piece of information blew me away. Paul, we all know that Terminator Genesis was a bomb, right?
Pretty much.
A bomb.
That or Dark Fate was more of a bomb, but yeah.
Dark Fate might have been more of a bomb. So they're putting up, they compare, with the box office of what Matt Smith movies have made versus the box office of, I don't know, whoever the other Doctor Who was. I can't think of his name.
Tennant or...
Yeah, David Tennant.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, is it David Tennant? No, who's the bad guy from the bullshit? Is it David Tennant?
It's him or Capaldi, right?
Yeah.
So,
but anyway, it is David Tennant. David Tennant. Okay, so they put up the box office numbers, and that movie. Take a guess. How much do you think worldwide? How much do you think Terminator Genesis made? And don't forget, it's a bomb that everyone hated.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it was. I remember it was a July 4th movie. For that alone, it's going to have better box office than you would think.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Worldwide, 700 million.
Oh, okay. Well, you went above, but because I was surprised, it's like 445 million or something. So yeah, you went above, but I was just shocked because I was like, that famous bomb made just a little less than Shang-Chi. I went and looked at the box office records, and I was like, what's it next to? Shang-Chi. So I'm like, that was not a bomb everyone hated, but anyway.
Well, William Bibbiani, our occasional guest on here in the Ford Fiesta, had a good tweet recently that said, if everyone who comes on here and says they hated Ballistic X versus Sever saw it, it would have been a hit.
Right.
Which means people didn't see it, you know?
No.
I joked on the title, but I never saw it.
It's one of the great goofball titles, and I think that's mostly what everyone's riding on, you know? Ballistic X versus Sever.
See, now here's a problem I have, Mara, these days.
I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember hating that movie. I don't remember rewatching it, though. But the thing about bad movies is most of the time I've elevated, I'll stick with that word, to a place where I think that bad movies just land bad on me. You know, someone says, "Oh, you got to see Double Team. It's so bad with Dennis Rodman and Jean-Claude Van Damme." So I look up online a scene where Dennis Rodman and Jean-Claude Van Damme are jumping out of a plane, and Rodman pulls a ripcord, and they're enveloped in a basketball, and they bounce on the ground and get out, and that's his parachute, because he's Dennis Rodman. Okay. And I'm like, this looks like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I must watch this. And when you do, it's terrible, and you hate your life. Unfortunately, those things nowadays don't stretch out to a whole 2 hours for me. But I think there's enough in there where that's a different level bad movie. Maybe a disappointing movie that still you can enjoy because of fandom for the genre and the series as a whole.
You're talking Double Team?
I'm talking Terminator Genisys.
Terminator Genisys.
Yeah, at the end there I addressed Mara's take, which for me I could enjoy a bad movie. Yeah, I'm sure I have.
I don't think that's a bad movie.
Just to wrap it up, I'll say Bourne Legacy. I kind of enjoy. I think the Bourne movies in general are great. It's the one that's roundly, just doesn't have Damon in it. It's not so great. Still a lot of good stuff in it. A lot of sadness, actually, and of course Oscar Isaac, I believe, is a supporting role in that. And we didn't know who he was yet. He's electric in that movie. So,
wow.
Yeah, I'd say that's a top tier bad movie.
Okay,
me. I see what you mean there by the tier. Yeah,
right. Well, if Terminator Genisys is a bad movie, then it's definitely top tier, because the number of things that movie tries to pull off are things that no other movies tried to do. Like that, there was just the idea of making John Connor the Terminator coming back and all this stuff, and then all the sort of new technology they have for the Terminators and stuff. It's really, I don't know, it's like bad. I mean, the fact that it fools you at the beginning, you think you're going back to the regular Terminator, and they recreate that completely accurately, and then there's a big surprise, which is, the Terminator is there to kill the Terminator. I mean, there's like one surprise after another. Like nothing was blown when you went to go see that. Those are all legit surprises. You're like, wait a second. Or actually, maybe the fact that the other Terminator went back to 84 or whatever. Anyway, but still, there's a lot of surprises in that. And the fact that you could see the whole Reese's plot line from the future point of view, like going into the machine, all that stuff, I was like, all this stuff is... You know what sucks is Terminator 3. That is a bottom tier bad movie. Terminator 3 is terrible. I hate Terminator 3 more than most movies.
We've talked about this, but two things happen in that movie that make me watch it again. And it's the big chase scene, which we've talked about. But I think the uncompromising ending on that is something to behold.
That's the only good thing about that movie, the uncompromising ending. The crane chase can go fuck itself, because it's just an excuse to, like, what's gangly that we can pick that will accidentally destroy half the cars in the street as driving down. It's like,
bring in the gangly proficient stunt coordinator, please.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, but anyway, Terminator Genisys.
Anyway, that's, you know what I'm going to say, and that's House of the Dragon. All right.
Hey, let's go to McDonald's.
All right, let's not screw around. Let's just talk about what that clip is from. And Adam and I going to see the Black movie soundtrack. and I put some clips up here. Adam put some clips up here. This was a big
a few things.
extravaganza at the Hollywood Bowl. Let me just
what's cool is there's no real movies to talk about, but we went to like really interesting presentations of movies. I mean, we saw clips of 90 or 100 different movies at the Hollywood Bowl. Look at those seats. Look at that evening. This is one of the great. I mean, I'll tell you what, Paul. If I'm so lucky that I get to work for the Hollywood Bowl in various capacities. Paul,
Yeah.
Paul, I'm very lucky that I get to talk work in various capacities at the Hollywood Bowl, which, as I stare at you, is right that way. But what a great treasure of a venue that I know I would miss going to over and over every year. I'd be like, oh man, why didn't I make it to the bowl this year? And now, because I actually get to do work for it, I actually get to go to the bowl quite often, which is just an amazing. Look at that evening. Look at what you're looking at there. Good stuff.
Yeah. Your host was Craig Robinson.
And
he led people through an evening of black cinema, going everywhere from blaxploitation to
stormy weather, the
musicals.
1950s.
Yeah. Oh, the Nicholas Brothers.
I brought a clip of that.
What's that?
I brought a clip of that.
Oh, well, I'll let you. I'm sorry. I was going to let you lead the way, but I led with my photos. Take it from there.
No. You can keep going through them. Let me just
I
summarize.
just got one more. This was a Purple Rain finale, which was the same thing I saw when I went to this with you 4 years ago.
Yeah.
The last one.
Purple
And various
Rain.
performers come out and sing a lot of the songs that are associated with the black cinema. They had a band, and they put it up front and center in front of the orchestra. So if they needed band, they had a nice band there.
Led by Marcus Miller.
Yep, and then they had the orchestra conducted by Thomas Wilkins. Who is fantastic. So.
And the variety, I'm just so shocked because I work on this show piecemeal. I work on this piece, and then I deliver it to the people that are going to project it and play it. I work on this piece, and then I deliver it to the people that are going to project it and play it. And so I just continue going through all the things I'm doing. So the only thing, like, in my mind that I could tell you was definitely in the show was what I worked on last, which was, like, the montage for songs from Boomerang, you know? I'm like, Boomerang, that's definitely in the show. But as I sit there through the show, I forget the variety and breadth and type of music it covers. Aretha Franklin from the documentary, what is that called, where she sings at the church, the Baptist church in Los Angeles.
I don't remember what the name of the doc was.
It's right here somewhere.
Sidney Pollack shot it.
So, and we have her isolated track. The orchestra's playing along with Aretha Franklin singing. Whitney Houston, isolated track from The Bodyguard, which well, okay, I'll come back to all this stuff, but just the breadth of the material. Yes, the blaxploitation montage. There were 2 songs, "Freddie's Dead" and "Pusher Man," and the rendition they did of "Pusher Man" and "Freddie's Dead" is just. It's the best one I've ever heard, and I'm comparing it to Curtis Mayfield. You know, like, what else was there? Oh, my favorite montage in the entire show, which is the Black Panther Into the Spider-Verse montage. It might be the best thing I've ever edited.
That was fantastic. Yeah, that was great.
And just waiting for moments like when, at the end of, because it's only like, the whole thing is like 4 minutes long, maybe. So you're like 2 minutes and, hit the Black Panther theme and then get it going, action, 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 and then slam it home. And my favorite thing is Chadwick Boseman, the mask comes off to reveal Chadwick Boseman, and the next shot is Miles Morales pulling his mask on, and then it's like a completely different type of music, yet like techno, yet played by orchestra, and that whole thing. But man, what a variety of stuff. Yeah, Purple Rain. The Sidney Poitier tribute. 2 different songs sung by B.B. Winans. One written by B.B. Winans, premiered at the event.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
and it should be noted, the whole thing produced by Reginald Hudlin, whose mom we sat next to, which was fun. She was a hoot. That's her, I believe, right here, holding her phone up, all engaged in the Purple Rain, sort of back and forth with the phones of people.
Hold on, let's see if we've deleted enough things that I can actually put up the photo I took of her at the end. Let's see if it uploads here. But yes, that was the great thing. And okay, yeah, here it is. That's Reggie's mom. We sat next to Reggie's mom the entire time. You found out early on that it was Reggie's mom, But
she was chatty, so yeah, it wasn't too hard. I was like,
but enjoying the show. Oh my God, she was just so into it and clapping, and when it came time to pick up the phone for Purple Rain or whatever, that happened a couple times. Waving she was just so into it. We were getting such a kick out of her.
I can tell you why. She was super proud because B.B. Winans finished his original song that Marcus Miller wrote for Sydney, and he did an impromptu happy birthday for Reginald's daughter. Oh. And the lady next to me leans over and goes, "That's my granddaughter. That's my granddaughter." And I was like, this is hilarious. You Reggie's sitting right here. So
was it his daughter or wife who did sung?
Oh, his wife. I'm sorry.
Oh, it was his wife. Yeah. But yeah,
so it was his daughter-in-law, she said.
Right, right.
Sorry.
Kirin Lager Beer.
Disney.
So he starts singing an impromptu song for Reggie's wife.
Yeah.
And the lady next to me says, "That's my daughter-in-law." And then we started up a conversation so I knew right away that was Reginald Hudlin's mother.
Now, here's what's so funny. So we're getting a kick out of her. She's the best. Now, I got to tell you, she looks, acts, sounds a whole lot like my grandma.
Oh, wow.
And it didn't quite occur to me, we're just getting a kick out of her. She's great. She's a great old lady. It turns out it's Reggie's mom. Can you imagine seeing your son put on this whole show, which is just like 8,000 people or however many people fit in that place, just cheering.
18, yeah.
18? Is that what it is? Oh, my gosh, 18.
Yeah, they're probably about 15 there.
Yeah, about 15. Yeah, it was almost full. And so I'm trying to send some photos to my mom of the event, and I took the pan of all the phones for Bodyguard or Purple Rain. They did that twice or whatever. And when I panned back, there was Reggie's mom doing that and giggling and all that sort of stuff. And it didn't occur to me why I was so taken by his mom is because it reminded me of my grandma. And then my mom texted me, he's like, "Who's that Mama woman?" And Mama was what we called, Flo Jean Witt was Mama. And she goes, "Who's that Mama woman?" And that's when it occurred to me. I'm like, that's why I'm so taken by her. She looks, acts so much like my grandma. That's exactly my grandma's hair. That's exactly what my grandma would wear. That was exactly the sort of exuberant, being in that sort of thing. So that was great. It was and of course my mom's very spiritual. It's just I think that's Flo Jean Witt hanging out with you because she's no longer with us. She would want to see this show,
So you talk about the variety of films that they honor, and then of course the variety of performers they have out to come and perform as well. Warren G was there. Eric Benet sang I'm Your Pusher. Warren G came out and sang Regulate, and I didn't know that was from a movie. It's from Above the Rim, so I got to hear Regulate live for the first time in my life. Gonna hit the east side of the LBC. So that was fun. And then let me play you a little clip of, I think this is Kid and Play. Now, Kid and Play, where's Kid and Play been since House Party?
Where's Kid and Play been? Did anybody take the Hollywood Bowl in a way you've seen Kid and Play did? I couldn't believe it. I was like, is Public Enemy up there? Everybody is yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, these guys should hit the road if they're not touring. I mean, maybe I've just missed it, or maybe it's on me that I haven't gone, but they need to hit the road, do some shows, because I would go and see this again.
This is my boy Play. Oh, kick and play, kick and play. If you're looking for more, step on my dance floor. Check your coat and your trouble to the door. Okay, no, for sure you're gonna see a spot today. The problem is the one few miles away. The only thing that matters is a good time. That can be had with the help of Joe. My DJ's high burning up the bar. Like a computer at the bar. So
man, they're good.
That's cool. Yeah.
I gotta go see them in concert sometime. I mean, it's got that old school vibe too, but really pumped up, All
right, allow me to answer this question. What did Jennifer Holliday and Lala sing? Okay, Jennifer Holliday, the original Tony winner from Dreamgirls, came on, and I saw her just sing. I'm telling you, I'm not going on the Tonys. I know what I'm in for. I've seen this done before. Still with the tears. It was powerful. And her first time in 44 years of performing, being at the Bowl. So when it's over, we're all crying. She's crying. Then I start crying more, and then the whole place is a freaking mess. And poor Macy Gray's got to come out and sing a Prince tune and go, I can't believe I had to follow Jennifer Holliday.
All right.
I didn't know that would be so unfair until she was done,
Jennifer Holliday has lived a life. She's done it all. And that evening brought her to tears. That's just...
about that.
Yeah.
Including myself.
Man, that was special.
Well, there you go. You caught on first Broadway run. Nice.
Oh my God.
And
wow.
Layla
Hathaway.
Layla Hathaway sang with Babyface a couple of the tunes from Boomerang, if I'm not mistaken, and Johnny Gill came out and sang in that.
Oh yeah, big surprise! Johnny Gill, who did the original number, and originally Babyface was going to sing both. No wait, Layla, is that what? No, Layla sang something else, didn't she?
She did. I'll play that in a second. She came back out again.
Oh,
but
okay.
No, you're right. Babyface said, "Now I'm going to sing the Johnny Gill song the way I think it should have been. I'm going to put my spin on it. This is how I think it should be done." And I'm like, "Oh, he's throwing a little attitude," until he starts to sing, and then Johnny Gill comes out from the side and sings the whole song, and
crowd goes nuts. I mean, we thought we hit some heights already, and man, that just sent it rocket ship, man.
And here was Layla come back out at the finale. That was powerful. It always is. That song is just so amazing, and with Prince being gone 6 years now, it's always emotional when that tune gets played.
And they open up with an orchestral piece that he wrote for Under the Cherry Moon, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. What a deep cut pick. Venus
deep cut pick, but you got a whole orchestra there. Let's play Prince's orchestral number he wrote. It's just incredible.
Yeah, that was great.
Which we couldn't play 3 years ago because it was too soon after Prince had died and the estate was being worked out. So that piece got edited 3 years ago and never aired. So that was kind of cool too,
Yes, and tickets for this event started at $1. Is that this event we're talking about? I mean, maybe. That's the great thing about the Bowl is events that aren't booked events like when The Who comes or when Rod Stewart comes. You can sit way in the back for like $10. I've never seen blank and just sit in the ballet. I think I'm gonna go see Duran Duran because 40 whatever years of them being in my life, and I've never seen them, and it might be like $35 to do so. I think I'm gonna do that.
Let me know, because for the rest of the summer, now that I've after John Williams' show comes up, like I'm done, but I'm take advantage of the fact that I live right here. I can walk over there and just buy a cheapest ticket and go up to the top, grab a 6-pack, and just enjoy Duran Duran. So let me know.
Yeah, it's 9, 10, 11 of September.
1911. Okay. Yeah. So I have a couple clips here. Sure. Mine are self-serving because they are mostly the video cues that I enjoy. Unfortunately, I didn't record the one from. But see, a lot of times I'm too busy. Actually, I probably have it on my phone, but I'm too busy enjoying the videos to take them. But just the opening number, I'm very proud of because it's 3 pieces of music. Porgy and Bess. What is the middle piece? And then Shaft. And my favorite thing is because the whole thing lulls you into it, and it's just like a barrage. It's like, here's this face, this face, this face, this face, this. You're just like, oh my God, Eddie Murphy, Denzel Washington, all that sort of stuff. But my favorite thing is the entire thing. The sort of breadth of the thing lulls people into enjoying the grandeur of all of these movies. But the final piece is Shaft, and what you haven't seen, you don't realize until you hit Shaft the entire time, is that now it's really gonna get rocking here. So I recorded that part, but I believe the first clip I have here is the opening. Here, let's see which one this is first. Oh yeah, this is Shaft. Wait, what's this? Oh, that's the ending. Okay, here it is. Okay, so here's where it makes the turn to Shaft, and I just love this part. And you can listen to the crowd just completely dig it, because the faces that pop up, it's all the classic blaxploitation stars, and then it goes into other movies that are action stars.
There's me, my popcorn and going to go.
It's a popcorn moment. Anyway, I just love that turn there. And then here's the ending of this piece, which I also love, because when you get to, my job is to put a shot from a movie that matches the music. Well, when you get to Shaft and it's like, what do you put there? Do you put 25 shots? But my favorite is that, and this was not my choice, but the Robin Hood and the what's the one with Sammy Davis and the Rat Pack? There's like Robin Hood and the something thieves.
Robin and the Seven Hoods.
Robin and Seven Hoods, sorry. Yeah. It's Robin and Seven Hoods, a little tap dance piece, and then there's like Nunchuck from Black Dynamite, and I just love how it goes with the Shaft theme. Yeah, somebody was sitting down in front of me there. Okay, and the last thing. The last cue that I'll play here that I just love is, as we mentioned, Stormy Weather, the Nicholas brothers, who, by the way, the block over here in front of my house, if I take a left, the stars on that block, amongst the stars are Sidney Poitier and the Nicholas brothers. But they played the scene from the movie, and at the point where the Nicholas brothers, they jump out of the crowd and they start singing along with Cab Calloway. But at the point where they begin to dance, the entire orchestra kicks in, and it hasn't the whole time. Always gets the crowd going. I just love this moment in this show. In this movie, this show's full of moments.
Now we're in live music, right?
Correct. So if anybody wants to
cool.
watch that whole clip, go look up Stormy Weather, Nicholas Brothers, and you can just see the amazing. But yes, they have isolated taps, and so then it's full live orchestra with the isolated taps. It's such a great presentation.
That is a great show, and I will go every year if I get the chance. Why would I miss that?
Yeah.
Some quick other thoughts showing up in the chat about that. Maddie says, I saw Gutsy Prince once. Yeah, I did 5 or 6 times, which is cool. Even with Paisley Park. Not a fan or anything. But, definitely make the bowl your even better than bucket list, because that's like before I die. How about just like before, sooner than later? I don't know.
Maddie's in England, right?
I know, so it's tough. But
tough.
Work it out, buddy. I was happy to see you at the Star Wars Celebration. Now, this one I used to know the answer to. That's not coming to me.
You don't?
You have it?
I know this one.
Go ahead.
Duran. Evil Scientist Durand. Which, by the way, I now realize I know what movie this is from. This is from Barbarella. And, yeah. But I also realized Durand is the villain in Darkman as well.
Oh, correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to some others, because like we said, there's not a whole lot of movies coming out this week, but we did have a lot of amazing movie events. I hosted a screening of Encanto. That movie was part of the...
Sorry, trying to delete clips.
Oh, right, to make room for more. Encanto played at the Yumi Credit Union. Yes, it played at my credit union in Burbank, but that's why my credit union is cool. They have a blow-up screen in the parking lot, and they fill it up with people bringing chairs and blankets and do whatever you want to do. That must have been about 250 people or so. There was a lot of people there.
That's amazing.
2 food trucks. They even wisely brought one in that had Colombian, South American food.
Oh, there we go.
Sure. And then they brought in face painting, so you had face painting and balloons.
Ah,
the kids could go to the Burbank Arts and Entertainment table, see a girl dressed there like Mirabelle, and they could make butterflies out of pipe cleaners and construction paper and little designs and stuff. And then, did I run out of room? And is that all the pictures I have?
I have deleted some, so.
Oh, I think they're on my other computer. Oh well, I thought they would have loaded on here. But anyway, then we showed that movie, Encanto, and it's Encanto's a good enough movie, I suppose. But the music's fantastic by Lin-Manuel Miranda. That guy's, just get him on your project if you don't know what you're doing, and it'll go well. So, yeah.
Well,
so that was fun. And the next one coming up, if you live in the LA area, is Hocus Pocus on October 1st.
Oh my gosh!
In the parking lot.
I've never seen Hocus Pocus, and I've been yelled at for not having ever seen Hocus Pocus. And it's that time of year.
First time during pandemic because I was tired of getting yelled at.
I know, right? Yeah, people are really defensive about that. We're like, oh, come on.
But big role for Doug Jones, and as Doug Jones fans, he plays Billy Butcherson, who's like a zombie type character. As you can imagine, he's gangly as hell, and it's fun to watch.
That's in Hocus Pocus?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. What year was Hocus Pocus? 89, 90?
93, I want to say.
Yeah, this must be hot off of, this is new trivia that we figured out a couple weeks ago, hot off his performance as Mac Tonight on the McDonald's commercials.
And then
Doug Jones.
The sequel comes out September 30th. So
Encanto?
Plus, for
Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus. All right, now I'm going to move on to one more because I wish I had a picture of
topics. We got topics.
Yeah, we got topics, and we jump around on them, including my favorite movie of all time, showed on the big screen again. I know we just saw it in March at the New Beverly, but it was time
I wanted to go.
Raiders of the Lost Ark at Cinespia. This is a massive wall on the side of a mausoleum in the Hollywood Forever Cemetery in LA, where literally 3,500 people showed up to watch Raiders of the Lost Ark.
And sit in a graveyard, and it's not horror movies. That's always the weird thing. Like, shouldn't they all be horror movies?
No, coming up, they've got there's a little glance at the crowd, and they call it Cinespia, and yeah, you're right next to literally Douglas Fairbanks Jr. and Sr.'s like gravesite, and Toto from Wizard of Oz is right there as well. As Johnny Ramone is around the corner. You're just around the lake from Cecil B. DeMille. But they show movies here. In fact, yeah, to your point, Ghostbusters, Goodfellas, and A Star is Born are coming up. So it's not horror movies, although they have shown plenty. Aliens was the last. My friend Tom, that was the last one he saw there.
That's recently. It was Aliens.
Yeah, this summer. So there's the crowd, though. It's just huge. And that's looking one direction. There's that many people to the left of the shot and that many people to the right of the shot. They set up like a photo op where you can get your picture taken. And there's the film. And dead center there, you see a guy standing up with a hat on, talking to a girl. That's my girlfriend Susan, and that, no surprise, is Mike Kalinowski. Because his favorite movie of all time is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh yeah.
So, say what you want about the killer, love him or hate him on the Schmodown. His favorite movie is Raiders of the Lost Ark. For that, he gets points, and there's a little clip of it being shown. Larger than life. The sound is full on DTS. I mean, those are speakers you can see.
Wow.
On the above the roof there, on top of the roof on the other side of the screen, and then they put like 4 or 6 more around the whole thing. So, despite the largeness and the outdoorsness of the space, the audio is crisp and clean, no caffeine. It is a great experience. And so
I think they've upgraded their system since I saw it last. That projection looks brighter and larger. And the sound, it was always good, but it was always a little bit PA. A little bit like the MASH announcements, just a little bit.
No, it was beautiful, man. And so, I mean, it was one of the cleaned up versions of the film, obviously. So it was crisp and, it wasn't any bold mono print from 81 or anything. So,
right.
Yeah, it was great.
That is correct.
The legend. I have another story about driving around LA I want to share with you as well.
All right.
I have a whole bunch of CDs. They're all here. I got a ton of CDs. And so my car is a CD player. Once in a while, I just grab a bunch of CDs to listen to in the car. And, I'm going to grab the Beatles, Billy Joel, some of my favorites, Rage Against the Machine, Queen, whatever. But every once in a while, I'm like, here's something I haven't listened to in years. So I just wanted to give it a listen. The Van Helsing soundtrack.
I know why you have this.
Right, because I used to work for Universal. In fact, I still work for Universal Studios for the theme park and City Walk in a video production capacity every once in a while. I performed in the park for 15 years or whatever, so I knew some of the people at City Walk. So when they had a stack of CDs from Universal movies, they're just going to get rid of. They're like promotional, they got the little stickers on them here that say, promotional thing. I said, I will take them. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. And then one day you forget you have them, and you're like, I'm going to listen to Van Helsing while I drive around. I don't even like that movie, but I want to listen to Silvestri's score while I drive around.
Well, it is Silvestri at the very least.
Yes, and it is hilarious because I gave you some of these movies, some of these CDs too, which is hilarious because I don't know what I gave you because I kept movies I was interested. I kept Cinderella Man, so I still have that. That is a Thomas Newman score. I kept Intolerable Cruelty, which
Paul
is mostly Carter Burwell and a lot of. Yeah. Oh, did I have two of those?
I think I have Intolerable Cruelty. Hold on. What's funny is I have these at hand. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, this is a bunch of songs. It's Melissa Manchester, Presley, Chuck Mangione, etc., and some Carter Burwell in there to throw in the mix. And this I had no problem keeping. Yeah. Yeah.
Now I want to listen to it.
I know. And this I had no problem keeping. So that was like, I'll take that. Absolutely, for sure. Sex Bob-omb. And then this was also good, Randy Newman. That was the film I thought should have won Best Picture in 2003. Yeah. Of what was nominated, I think I already mentioned it. America was my favorite film that year. I have my years correct. But I think I do, because 04 was Sideways. So 03. But of what was nominated, I thought Seabiscuit was a masterpiece. The Randy Newman score also is. But I hadn't listened to Van Helsing in a long time. So let me blow through that. And Adam, I want to see what CDs you ended up with.
Okay, right.
But I'll just share
and
how,
I do have Seabiscuit somewhere. It's not in what I grabbed here. But
yeah. All right, so...
And I can't get rid of them. I don't listen to them, but I'm not going to get rid of soundtracks. I can't do it. And you can't give them away. You can't give CDs or DVDs away to anybody, which is, because a lot of time I would get something, I'd watch it, give it away to someone else. Who owns a DVD or CD player anymore? I mean, you have one in your car, that's good. But.
Give them to Amoeba Music, they'll take it.
Yeah.
So I was driving around, I listened to the Van Helsing theme.
That'll make any drive more exciting. This is why I love soundtracks.
VHS.
Then I listened to the Van Helsing track, Transylvania 1887.
All right.
Hey, let's go to McDonald's.
That's good. That was a good track.
Don't ever take that clip out of the out of the StreamYard here. Well, then I started to think to myself, these are all pretty fired up things. Do they ever calm down? Let me listen to Journey to Transylvania.
Wow! Oh my God! Every instrument.
Again, I was like, well,
Major, move!
And I said, all right, wait a second. This is called Reunited. Reunited. And it feels, the characters must be coming together. Characters I didn't care about when I saw this movie. I thought was terrible and totally overdone. This must be them coming together, and it must be a beautiful, beautiful moment. And then I knew what I was getting into by the time I hit Final Battle. Not exactly soothing any road rage you might have, but man, Silvestri was bringing the goods when he put that thing together.
Man, I mean, every instrument. I'm hearing banjo and the hammer clavicle or whatever the heck that's called, hammer dulcimer.
Yes, David, that's absolutely on point. They go to 11, and they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Yeah, right into a tree, Randy.
Wow. So, yeah, right.
What did I dump off on you that you haven't gotten rid of? Because how could you? It's a movie.
Yeah. This is the problem. Paul, you've identified the problem. Hey, Adam, do you still have those 20 DVDs or 20 CDs of soundtracks that are ridiculous that I gave you 10 years ago? I just have Intolerable Cruelty, which I'm realizing I don't listen to nearly enough. Yeah, this has got some great stuff on it. This has got Simon and Garfunkel, The Boxer, Carter Burwell, Elvis Presley, Chuck Mangione, Feel so good. Feel so good. That's related to that song by Alan Silvestri, right?
Tom Jones, Edith Piaf. I mean, it's a soundtrack.
Yeah, okay. But you also gave me Thunderbirds, everybody's favorite movie based on a Marionation TV show. Everybody's favorite. This is Hans Zimmer, though. So I'm like, why haven't I listened to this? This is Hans Zimmer and Ramin Djawadi.
Ooh.
The second time he's been mentioned this episode. No, that's Joe Kramer. But
oh wait, I have that. He gave us those.
Yeah, he gave us these. But I don't listen to this enough either because I love Joe Kramer. Joe Kramer turned in stiff competition. I think the best Mission Impossible soundtrack is Joe Kramer's.
Rogue Nation, absolutely.
Yeah, Rogue Nation. I think that's the best one. His is the best version of the theme. But, okay, here are the other ones that have lost their case. Some things have... first of all, there is Van Helsing.
Nice.
Which is nice. It looks like a spinning... I mean, I've never seen this movie. I don't know why, but just the idea that this CD looks like a throwing star is awesome. I mean, how bad could this movie be?
It's somebody saying, let's give Stephen Sommers enough money that he never makes a film again. That's what
enough rope to hang yourself, right?
Yeah.
All right, and Paul, why would you give this away? The soundtrack to You, Me, and Dupree with America's favorite filmmakers. Isn't this the
Infinity War and Endgame's the Russo brothers?
The Russo brothers, right? Yeah, there it is. So what's their musical taste beyond the Avengers?
Without the case, we'll never know.
We'll never know. Out of the case. Nobody's favorite American Pie sequel, American Wedding.
Oh.
I'm sure this has some great retro hits from '99.
I was gonna say, I bet you it's got Gin Blossoms.
Giving Stephen Sommers more money, we got The Mummy Returns. I bet this is a pretty good score, actually. I bet I'm going to enjoy that.
I bet you it sounds a little something like. Anyway.
And I'm sure this has some great hits on it. Smokin' Aces.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I gave it to you just because I still haven't seen that movie.
I still haven't seen that movie either. I've watched the opening to it 5 times, though, which is weird. Like, I know exactly how it opens. It's like a whole wrecked hotel room, and then, everything's a flashback. How did we get here? Right, and I've got those as well. But here's one that you definitely did not keep a copy of for yourself. It would be the soundtrack to The Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps. Not known for its music. Oh, Danny Elfman. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, that is funny. Boy, that's a great score to drive to. The problem is I don't have a car with a CD player. I don't have a Discman to walk around and listen to it. And
I got rid of mine.
And all of my physical media players are in some sort of disarray except for the PlayStation 4. But I don't put a lot of CDs in this PlayStation 4, but I might today. You've inspired me. You've charmed me.
I've got others here. Charming. To the last. All right, so other shit to get to. Last week I wanted to play a clip from the Holly Shorts interview.
I would say this means we've run out of things to talk about, but you've got more?
I do. Somehow I have more. I got a media pass for Holly Shorts. Unfortunately, I was unable to see a lot of what went on there.
How is Holly Shorts? I haven't seen her in a while.
Still hot after however the hell many years she's been doing it. And I did get to see a short film called The Errand, if you get to see it in your film festival near you as it plays the fests. It is very good, and it is from director Amanda Renee Knox, and I talked to her and the stars Nia Johnson and Ezekiel Bridges. Ezekiel Bridges is continuing the legacy of the Bridges brothers, Jeff and Bo. It's Bo's son.
Oh, so it's Bo's son.
He's been in a bunch of stuff, and he's very good in this.
All three of those stars are on the way to the Target as well. All the Bridges. Lloyd.
That's right.
Right, this block right here.
Where I saw Catherine O'Hara back in the day. Yeah. But Nia Johnson's the fun story here because she's a really young kid who this is her first movie. It's a short film, but all rests on her, and it's her story from some narration at the top on through what she does in it to the end that is a bit unpredictable. So I don't want to tell you any more about it, but I will say that this clip of talking to her real briefly about her acting career is fun.
All right.
Because I did interview them. Did I mention that?
Do we know Amanda Renee Knox? Does that name sound familiar from back in the movie guys?
Doesn't it? She's made other shorts and has worked on a bunch of things, and she's chaired in some festivals. And
okay, but she wasn't on our old show or anything like that. For some reason, sometimes I hear those names and I'm like, do we have her on the old show?
No. Oh, yeah, we had 200 some guests. But not her. This is the first time she guested in a TMG interview. But again, my favorite part of the clip, the favorite part I wanted to clip out was talking to Nia Johnson.
Okay.
All right, Nia, we've left you out of this long enough. My bad. So let's circle back around to you again. I mentioned this is your first film. Do I have that correct?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so how do you get ready to shoot? Because, I mean, there's a lot counting on you. You're the first person we see in the short, and the narrative kind of runs through you to the end. How do you prepare for your big first day?
Honestly, I don't really have a method yet. I just sort of
developing it.
Yeah, I just like maybe take a few deep breaths right before I go, but otherwise I just do my best. I don't.
Okay, well, I mean, were you nervous? Did you sit there and let's say go over your lines 100 times, or? It's okay, and it's cool if you were chill. You know, you could be chill. It's all
over
good,
my lines like a while before, so I have them memorized, and then anytime I can just, what was that line again? And yeah, that's why I go over them right before I go on. I wasn't very nervous, honestly. I just acted like the cameras weren't there.
That's 90% of it. Oh yeah, Ezekiel and Amanda met in an acting class. Nia, are you going to take acting classes now?
Hopefully. I mean, I don't know.
I like your style. Is this going to be just one of your goals in life? That, well, I made a movie, now I'm going to climb a mountain, start a charity, win the Daytona 500. I mean, is that how you are when these kids are just crossing things off the list, one after the other? All right, I'm just going to take that as an answer.
Drag that out of her.
Yeah, but I like their styles. Actually, I went to see The World's Fastest Indian years ago, which is a fun movie with Anthony Hopkins, who broke a land speed record on an Indian motorcycle in the Utah Salt Flats. And I saw a Q&A with him, and people just kept digging him for his method. And it's Nia's. So, Nia, if you're watching this or listening to this, you share Anthony Hopkins' method, which every answer you just go, no, really, I just memorize the script. I memorize it and I read it over and over again to where the words are second nature. And then in the scene, I can work with the director's notes and make choices. But I look at the script over and over again. And so that's kind of what she did. So I learned all the words and I went in and then did the show. You know, she's not required to have a method at her young age. But I thought it'd be funny to talk method with the first time actress, you know. So she was fun. And they're all very humble.
I was a kid playing a kid, so I was just kind of like a kid.
As a kid, I don't know. Yeah, that was it. Well done.
This is reality, Greg.
Look for her and Amanda and Ezekiel Bridges in the Errand, and check the whole review out because we enjoy talking to people. We've had everyone from Ike Barinholtz to David Krumholtz and a whole bunch of people on our show from close to 300 guests and all the time we've been doing the Movie Guys. But there's something about indies and shorts that makes some of the most interesting conversation about how people get those movies done and about the challenges they face. So that's it. This is another good one. Look up the Errand, the TMG interview on themovieguys.net and enjoy that whole interview.
Well, there you go. Movieguys.net. After that, go to McDonald's.
Hey, let's go to McDonald's.
That's probably accurate. You might be thinking of Amanda Knox from the kid. That's probably why she put Renee in there. I'm not surprised. So
Mickey and Mallory Knox. Probably thinking of Mickey and Mallory Knox.
Mickey and Mallory Knox.
Mickey and Mallory Knox. By the way, there was a really good running commentary while I was doing the CDs. Look at this. Yeah, no one's favorite hides my American Wedding DVD. The Clumps was the last time I let someone else pick what movie we saw in the cinema.
Yeah, no, don't do that, David.
Yeah. Thought you said Pauly Shore. I don't remember what I said there. And this is good advice here. Keep a CD in your backpack, and when you catch a ride from Kaiser or anybody, just pop it in. There you go.
That's a good call. Yeah, or me. You pop it in. All right, so that's what's been going on with the movies with us in the last week. It's a bunch.
I got to say, for having a week where we didn't go to see a major release, even though I want to go see George Miller's 2,000 Years of Longing. I'm going to get that one wrong for a while. 3,000. I wanted to go see that, but that's the only thing that was kind of released this week or last week, and this week is nothing. So I think we did a pretty good job that we went and saw movies in very interesting places.
Well, I did see a new movie, and I do have to bring it up because it was stellar, and that would be Emily the Criminal.
Oh, right. You're raving about this.
Indeed.
This is only in theaters right now.
Correct. And Aubrey Plaza, who you can see there, is the lead in this, and she came aboard as a producer, and I have to believe it's because she saw a great role here and wanted in. And it is about the setup should bring you to the movie.
And that's how you do it, indie filmmakers, by the way.
There you go.
You create that role that somebody's like, all right, I'm going to take minimal money and put my name as a producer, and I'll be your lead, and we'll get this made, I'm still glad that still works.
Yeah, the trailer should be a sell, and I'll just explain what it is. She's kind of crumbling under student loan debt. She's working in the gig economy, which is constantly undermining her. And she gets an opportunity from a friend. Hey, text this number. It's a way you can make some extra money. So she texts the number, and the text comes back immediately. Be here at 9 a.m. tomorrow. She's like, okay. So she shows up. There's like a dozen people there, and a guy sits down, and he says, okay, you're going to make $200 in the next hour. You're going to have to do something illegal. You won't have to hurt anyone, and you will not be hurt. Who's in? And so, then just the movie's off to the races. It is Aubrey Plaza has this sort of presentational way of acting that has never really sit on me very well. I liked her in Safety Not Guaranteed, but often seems like she's acting.
Yeah.
There's a great vulnerability to her character here that she does a real fine job with, and I would suggest more roles like this combined with the comedy stuff that she's known for, because man, she killed it here. And she, does this one job of, I won't explain exactly what it is, except for it goes well. So, okay, well, now you could make blank amount of money if you do blank. And then just one thing, and you sense her pain of living in this, world full of, debt that's not going to be forgiven.
And suddenly she's making enough money to be comfortable and do things. And so it's like deal or no deal.
Kind of, yeah, but there's never not danger involved.
Okay.
Regardless of that guy's promise at the top, because once you get too deep into it, once you lean into it, then and what has got to be, I wrote the guy's name down, John Patton Ford. Sure enough, he made a short film and then this. So he's one of those guys who just leapt to a point where he could show off, and man, did he! This is the tightest script of the year. Things build, things make sense, one scene to the next. There's no fat, and we always talk about the South Park thing, right? About how to tell a story, which is not this happens and this happens and this happens and this happens.
Yeah, South change Park, all your ands to buts and therefores.
Yeah, this happens, therefore. And that is exactly what this is. This happens, so what's she going to do? And it's usually something surprising. Not how I expected to get out of that. So now, because of that crazy move, this happens, and just on and on and on, and leads to a great ending. I compare the director, John Patton Ford, to Vince Gilligan. It's way early to do that, and he still has a little more... this guy Ford has a little more kinetic style of filmmaking, not ADD addled, but this handheld camera, stuff like that. Gilligan is very tripod, but the deliberateness I think he shares in that great creator of Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. So this is a movie for movie fans.
Oh, okay.
So go check it out. Not like internet fans or whatever. One of my favorites of the year so far. Emily the Criminal.
Well, I got to make it out to some theaters soon here, so I'd like to see that. It's going to have to compete with the New Beverly, of course, as everything does, but we'll see if that gets my vote or Breathless tonight. But
yeah. Well, I also needed the palate cleansed because the night before, literally, my girlfriend and I saw Elvis, and we were like, we have to go see something else. So we saw Emily the Criminal. Let's give it a shot. Thankfully, it was great because Elvis was obnoxious. I mean,
you didn't like it, huh?
Lerman doing his Lerman thing, and it's like, I remember when I saw, I think I maybe even chatted with you about this off the show, but Oliver Stone brought all those media tricks to Natural Born Killers, and I thought it worked because he's sort of satirizing the media. So why not use all of their tricks with the fast editing and the different lenses and the different textures and flashbacks and projections, and he pulled out everything to show you how crazy the media is in telling the Mickey and Mallory Knox story I mentioned earlier. But then he started doing his other movies. It's like all those choices don't necessarily work in telling the story of Nixon. It's still a good movie, but I thought that was always just a weird choice. Like Baz Luhrmann's just going to do the same damn thing regardless of the subject matter. It could be The Great Gatsby, it could be Elvis, it could be Moulin Rouge, it could be Romeo and Juliet. There's going to be hip hop music, there's going to be obnoxious editing, there's going to be unnecessary visual effects. And in the middle of all that mess, you can find a fantastic Austin Butler performance.
Okay.
He's great as Elvis, but man, you got to wade through a bunch of horse shit to get to it. And that is
interesting. I'm so fascinated because you're not the only person that said this, and I'm like, what is this movie? I still can't tell. I can't tell how that would feel. I mean, you have the same opinion of a lot of people of like, man, he's throwing a lot of stuff at the wall, and I'm like, for an Elvis movie? So yeah.
Well, bold choice in the story that they told, in the direction they immediately went in the story that they told, in that Colonel Tom Parker is sort of your lead character, and he's narrating about how he met Elvis, and I was like, we haven't seen that yet. That'll be new and interesting. It wasn't musical biopic choices number 1 through 10, which is he's born, he learns about music, his parents are blank, his brother died at birth. It's the whole different way to tell.
And then
but
the dark years.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And then drugs.
But man,
excess.
Tom Parker is an overwhelming piece of shit. Anyway, it'll be it just came out like Thor: Love and Thunder will be on Disney Plus September 8th. This will be on HBO Max September 2nd. So the window now is 2 months for theatrical. So if you want to give it your own day in court, feel free.
So September 8th, Thor: Love and Thunder comes on Disney Plus, and we can watch the slow roll of people going, actually, it's not that bad. Because that's the lifespan of criticism now. It sucks. It's the worst. I can't believe it. Marvel's lost their way. They're the worst. Actually, it's not that bad. And actually, you know what? It's rising to the list to one of my favorites. And everyone's like, sees it as this movie that's, it's now considered a bad movie. So now the people, it's actually a good movie, a very good movie, and a possibly hard to make good movie, I think. But now everybody's like, that movie that's bad. Now I'm going to like it so that I can be an alt sort of critic of like, that bad movie? I actually like it. And you're like, it was good all along, you idiot.
Yeah.
It's not like people going, actually, I like Green Lantern. No, you don't. But now we're in a whole other era where it's like, yeah, Rise of Skywalker's terrible. And it's like, it's fine. It's good. It's actually quite good. I mean, because like, it's just hard to make a movie like that, So everybody's like, actually, it's not that bad. Yeah, I know. It was fine all along. You're the one that made it bad to begin with. So you can have this arc of your redemption criticism. And, I like a lot of bad movies like Thor: Love and Thunder,
I'll have to bring my stack of Green Lantern comics out here from the garage if we ever get back into that as a movie. So I can show you the years I was behind.
Wait, now, what years did you read Green Lantern? Was it 85?
No, 90 to 90.
Okay. Oh, well, that's good arcs too. That's Parallax, right? That's
a relaunch,
Parallax years. Oh, okay.
It was a Mosaic as well.
Jeff Johns, right?
Yep. And then Mosaic, the Jon Stewart title launched off of that, where there were all these worlds brought together on one planet, and he had to keep the peace, which was really fun. Plot line. Did you see She-Hulk?
Oh, yeah, first episode.
Okay. You want to talk about that?
What are there, 3 now? Or 2 now?
Oh, man, it's tough to talk about that because the second episode pretty much delivers what we're going to have for plot for the whole series.
Ooh, okay.
One is kind of an origin story. But on the origin story, you a fan? I mean, imagine it's Marvel.
Oh, God, yeah. Fan. Oh, my God. It's just such, I mean, I can't believe, I'm such an easy mark for this, Paul. I mean, it's not that interesting to hear me talk about Marvel stuff because I'm just so in the bag for it. But like, as a kid, I opened the show with the story that as a kid, Saturday nights was the Hulk and Wonder Woman, and every once in a while, Captain America, Spider-Man, what are widely recognized as terrible movies that just like captured me. But, the idea that, after watching the Hulk and again, the Hulk it's beloved, but it's a terrible show in a way, because it's like, the idea that there is a She-Hulk show that it's just like so perfect and the Hulk is just like a character in it. Again, I'm talking about the pilot. Maybe he isn't in the rest of the show, but I've seen in the trailers and stuff that they're bringing in all these other really minor league Marvel characters like Titania, or I can't remember what her name was. It's one of the Secret Wars
Titania,
chicks.
I think, yeah.
Titania. Yeah,
so.
Which, my launch into loving comic books was Secret Wars, man. And so, like, that character...
he did his homework. His homework was editing that damn Black movie.
You never studied. Well, as far as the first episode goes, I mean, the fact there's a She-Hulk TV show, it's incredible. But no, I've only seen the first episode. But yeah, I'm way on board for it. And now that I've talked about it, I'll probably watch the others tonight.
Yeah, you're gonna dig big time the plot line that's gonna pick up from here out.
Okay.
And there's
It's
some
amazing.
lines in the second one that are just like some great one-liners.
It's just amazing. There's a She-Hulk TV show. That's. I'm reviewing the very idea of a She-Hulk TV show.
Well, I went back and watched the second season of this. Hard to believe there were 2 seasons. I don't know if we'll see this again, but I enjoyed what they did for the 2 seasons they had. I'm about two episodes from the end of season 2, which felt like an afterthought. It kind of was put out after the Marvel Disney purchase.
Okay.
It's not true. There was a Marvel Disney purchase, but it seemed like the Disney Plus was going to launch, but we had Punisher season 2. This is kind of put it out, so it was kind of not fanfare, and it isn't as good as season 1 because season 1 had a real strong through line.
Yeah.
But there's tons of fun stuff in
God,
season
look at that
2 of
Punisher.
the Punisher.
He's so
I mean,
good.
yeah, he's so great.
It's the Punisher, man. Look at him.
Yeah, and you get a fully fleshed out and interesting. They spend a lot of time on Jigsaw and his.
They do.
And his like thoughts and feelings and how he's dealing with amnesia and stuff, and they're going to come to a head here eventually, and it's going to be awesome.
Well, okay, so Paul, of the Netflix MCU things, I still haven't seen The Defenders. I still haven't seen season 3 of
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
And I still haven't seen season 2 of... And I haven't seen Iron Fist at all, and I haven't seen season 2 of Punisher. So I really want to go back and watch all those, because I do love those shows. And I can't believe that Punisher is so good. I didn't know Jigsaw was the villain. That's awesome.
Yes, and I don't know if it ties into the comics. It might be something entirely different, because it goes from season 1 right into season 2, and it's not too surprising.
It's so great.
Who the villain is.
Love that stuff.
Yeah, but there's... I need to see Defenders as well, because my favorite TV show ever in Marvel is Daredevil, but I hadn't seen Luke Cage, I hadn't seen Iron Fist, I only saw most of season 1 of Jessica Jones, so I was worried about jumping into Defenders, and it's weird because I watched.
I don't think it matters.
Well, kind of, because I see season 1 and season 2 of Daredevil, and then I watched season 3 of Daredevil, and Kingpin's back, and there's no ninjas. I'm like, what the hell happened to the ninjas? And someone said, they handled that over at Defenders. I'm like, okay. So I need to go back and watch.
I might have not understood that either.
I didn't care because the ninjas were what they were, but
man. Daredevil hit such a height with Elektra and the ninjas and the hands.
Punisher, and
Punisher.
Kingpin.
That is such classic Daredevil. Punisher and the Daredevil standing on a rooftop with Daredevil tied up in chains, talking philosophy of stopping crime. I'm like, geez, inject that into my veins. That is superhero perfection.
Yeah. All right, 7 minutes left. Anything you need to talk about? I wrote down a whole bunch of stuff here, and you probably didn't even see it on the script, but we'll have to do this in one of the upcoming episodes. Schmodown bits we didn't get to. We have a long list.
Okay.
So we'll have to talk about those at some point.
That's true. I mean, we had a bunch for this season, and my favorite one that I didn't get to, because, anything can be a... NFT, right? I could make an NFT. I just had to look at the process of making an NFT, because I wanted to have someone take JTE and paint him like the Kramer, right? But put him on like a horse, like JTE on a horse as a painting, and you could buy that NFT, and it'd be JTE the NFT, and that was going to be a whole the idea of him one-upping, like being the master, like. I don't know, NFT crypto guy,
One up in Gucci.
One up in Gucci. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. But that was one bit that we never got to. JTE, the NFT.
But I think it'll take more than 5 minutes, because there were old characters came up with. Like, we came up with the bro type dudes and came in just as the movie guys, but we had other characters we were going to bring in.
My favorite, and maybe we do it on this show. Like if we could think of a subject matter but my favorite was the Moguls.
Yeah.
Because we were both dressed like Robert Evans. And so we should bring both of us dressed as Robert Evans. We should put the costume together and just find something like just any movie that came out. Like, how would we talk about Emily the Criminal, or whatever?
So, all right, there's a lot of that coming. I'll save that for a future thing.
Okay.
I also saw
both of us dressed as Robert Evans.
Wait
That's
a minute,
awesome.
Because I finished this. If you finish this, it sounds like you haven't. But this is the most brilliant.
I haven't finished it yet. I got one left.
Indescribable thing you can watch on television right now. It is
10th level comedy, right?
Yep.
It is a mirror looking into a mirror of comedy. How far can we take comedy that's commenting on itself, that is then commenting on the comedy that's commenting on itself, that's commenting on the comedy that's commenting on the self, run by a moron who thinks he's a legit. It's just.
I would call this show subtitled "The Lengths," because the lengths Nathan Fielder goes to. If you don't know, and I think I talked a little about it with Kate a couple weeks ago on the show. He is creating rehearsals for real life moments that people have coming up. The opening show, the guy has to talk to
which
his
you can't
movie.
do. You can't rehearse life. So it's already futile. he's already dumb for having the idea.
This guy has to talk to his bar patron friends and tell them he doesn't have the education he's claimed that he did, because they all play bar trivia together. So it's like a confession. So he gets actors to play his friends. He rebuilds the entire bar that this event will be in, and he hires a guy to do movie trivia, and they reenact the scene or they enact the scene, not reenact. They pre-enact the scene a number of times to get this down, to see what it will be like for him to rehearse it. And of course, they try and keep every contingency, and they try and control even a little bit what will actually happen in the future. And again, then the next level, then another layer, then another layer, and then he has to have rehearsals. He has to have rehearsals. I mean, it's just, this show is insane, absurd, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. You're thinking of Nathan For You, Garth. This one is on a different level.
Yeah, there's no victims in this one. I watched 2 episodes of Nathan For You because I never saw it after I fell in love with this. But
even in that, the true jerk in that show is Nathan.
Most of the time, yeah.
He has the bad ideas. He tries to, but of course he puts the people in weird situations where they have to explain it to people. But in this one, I feel like he almost, based on this type of review, which is like, pulling pranks on people, that the ultimate prank ended up being on him. And the very idea, he's questioning the very idea of this type of thing in some way. There's a lot to it.
Wait till you get to the end. I mean, it advances so far beyond like simple ideas that they're going to rehearse. It's like questioning the life itself. It's insane.
Yeah.
But like a lot of prank shows, there aren't real victims. Even I know Garth is saying he destroyed the poor trivia guy. Even at the end, I think the thing that the guy was destroyed about was like a trivia match. So it's like not a big thing that, as opposed to like wrecking the guy's life, in some other way. But
yeah. But I thought, but in the trivia guy, when he did talk to the woman and revealed what he was so afraid to reveal, it was like fine.
It's no big thing, because
it was no big thing, which is a total statement of like, just like, oh, okay, well that's fine. And he was like completely relieved. So even though he got the trivia question, I mean, that's just like a side skit sort of thing, like but I mean.
Anyway.
The trivia thing is like one aspect of it, but the fact is, like, human interaction that was like he was worried about, and it just went fine. It's and he had rehearsed like the worst case scenarios, which were hilarious.
The lengths that they go to rehearse this, with the hiring of the people and the building of this and that, and fixing the questions and all that. I mean, it's just insanely entertaining, I thought, and it just gets weirder and weirder and dramatic and crazy. I mean, it's fantastic. All right, that's enough show. I think we've covered everything. Well, of course we didn't. We didn't cover everything. There's so much more to cover.
By the way, the child actor thing, too, the reality that child actors can only work for 4 hours, and therefore someone would have to sneak in the window and steal the child and replace it with another child. I mean, it's just like, it's just what a strange reality that if you were going to try and do that, you would have to do that. But those kids work for 3 hours a day. I'm not sure they could be traumatized.
And again, the lengths that he goes through to not only do that, but the kids get older, so he has to swap them out because they're doing like birth to teenager. They're rehearsing what it would like to be a mom.
Yeah.
Birth to teenager. So, but they're only doing it like 3 months. Like halfway through, your kid's maybe 9, so they have to keep swapping out different age kids, and so then they have to go to other lengths to show how where you live would change in that amount of time, how you look would change in that amount of time, and then of course, not only do you have to change all that, sometimes you have to rehearse it.
And here's the other thing. People focus on the prank aspect of it, but the joke of Nathan continuing to do this show, but now we're focusing on his home life as he's insinuated himself as the husband of the woman who's practicing having a child, only to work too long to miss your child growing up, which he did, but because they swapped out an actor for an older child, but they still play out all of that emotion of like, I spent too much time at work and I missed my child growing up, and you're like, this is so stupid, but genius stupid, you know? like there's a lot of focus on aspects of the show, which is, you know, fine, you can focus on whatever aspect of it, but the subtler aspects like that of like, that is so stupid but brilliant, you know.
Yeah. I would say, much to Adam's chagrin, probably that there's more story in these 6, and it's an easy watch, 6 half-hour episodes.
Yeah,
and there's more story going on there than in 6 one-hour episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi. All right, that's the show. Good night,
different
everybody.
shows, I'm gonna go ahead and say.
They are.
If I could stand up for Obi-Wan Kenobi by saying it's pretty different from the rehearsal.
I don't know. I have to hold you to task on that one, Adam.
Don't know who
Kind
won
of
that
same-
argument,
kind of the
but I'm
same
just gonna
thing.
say.
Kind of the same thing.
We're all fine here now, thank you. How are you?
All right, that is all. Until next week, let's put going over those old Schmodown bits a
Right.
priority, and then of course everything else we've seen between now and then, which will be for me those 2 episodes of Rings of Power.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be significant because I'll be watching all kinds of stuff this week. I have to work, but much less than the last few weeks.
Yeah, get caught up on She-Hulk. Old John.
Right. She-Hulk rehearsal.
All right, that's it. We'll see you next week.
Disney.
Hey, let's go to McDonald's.